Disney have been through a lot lately, haven't they? Like, even in their darkest years before, we've never seen something to this extent. Bomb after bomb after bomb. It looks like Wish, their latest animated movie, is going to join that pile. But why is that? Let's find out, shall we? Now, let's examine their most successful year for the past 10 years. 2019. It started off slow, with the release of A Wrinkle in Time and the Dumbo remake. But just 1 month later, the hits started coming. I mean, we got Avengers Endgame, Aladdin, The Lion King. All you get your spotlight, you piece of shit. Frozen 2, The Rise of Skywalker, you too. And with all those, they grossed around $10 billion. Oh, and they also bought Fox then. Like, wow! 10 billion! That's a lot of V-Bucks! But you get my point. Many people would presume that this is due to their leader, Bob Iger, who had been with the company for nearly 15 years. And with him, they exploded in popularity. Bobby Boy is an interesting guy. He was an apprentice to Michael Eisner, the CEO that foresaw the Disney Renaissance, and also had a lot of profit losses in his final years in the company. I think history is starting to repeat itself. With Bob, he invested heavily into massive purchases like Pixar, Lucasfilm, Marvel, and Fox, which by that point was the biggest purchase in the entertainment industry. Microsoft stole the spotlight this year. This guy was going all or nothing. He kept spending and spending until the bill finally caught up with him. In 2020, he retired from the company. But then he was reinstated in 2021 to steer the ship in the right direction. COVID was a massive blow for Disney. Not only did they have to dump theatrical releases to Disney+, but also a lot of money was lost that way. Now, Disney Plus in itself is a whole other adventure, but it was an expensive one at that. And after the pandemic was over, something just felt off about Disney releases. They just did not feel special anymore. Before, there was a sense of excitement in the air when you saw any of these logos. Now, the cracks started to show. It was obvious they were getting desperate for a hit. This has been their first year since 2014 where they have not had a single movie make $1 billion. And considering how much all of their movies cost, this year has been a very bad news for the Mouse House. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Wish. From the moment this movie got announced, it felt kind of desperate. They were bringing some of the old traditions, like a proper villain, which, wow, we have not had something like this for a very long time. And it's a musical. Good. It has an animal sidekick. Okay. And an adorable protagonist. Okay, this is where I draw the line. In terms of adorable protagonist, Disney has had a couple of successful ones. But the formula is getting thinner by the minute. It's become like a routine with them, for the protags to feel like,
hey, I'm clumsy and nervous, but also relatable.
Shtick that does not feel relatable anymore. It's not fun to watch, it just makes them feel very annoying. Wish has this problem in overdrive. Asha is a mixture between all of the other characters with these traits, but she's just not enjoyable to watch. Speaking of not enjoyable to watch... Oh, I fucking hate this stupid piece of shit goat. You can take your Jason Alexander gargoyles, your morphs, your scuttles, and so on and so forth. This little twat is making my head spin of anger. With his terrible, agonizing dub. It was just a horrible experience.
In
the Bega dub, the guy who voices the goat also voices Miguel in Spider-Verse. So take that as you will. Speaking of terrible dubbing, hey, Disney Character Voice International, how about you stop shitting on us by depriving us of Marianne Marino's beautiful voice with someone inferior for the villain? They did the exact same thing with Bowser's voice in the Mario movie, where in the trailer, he voices him, but in the movie, it's a complete and utter nerf of the voice! I just had to let it out. It had been stirring in me for a very long time. Here's a brief comparison.
Ми предадете желанието си.
Не някои. Повечето.
Те заслужават.
Аз решавам какво заслужават.
Speaking of the villain, it's easy to say that he's the most enjoyable part of the movie. You can tell Chris Pine was having a blast when voicing him. He is absolutely the highlight of it. And despite not liking his song all that much, it was an absolute miracle that there was a villain song in a Disney movie. It has not been done for 7 goddamn years. I'm gonna be brief on the songs because I wholeheartedly agree with Schifferless. And it's obvious they were written by someone not used to the old style of songs. They just sound so top charty that it could get really annoying really quick. They tried to remake the magic that was Let It Go, but it just did not work out. Speaking of not working out, how about the story? Granted, it does have its bright spots, but the problem is you side with the villain. In other Disney movies with lovable villains, you love to watch them be evil, but you don't agree with them. Scar is one of my favorites, but this motherfucker does so much evil shit that I would never side with him. Ursula, Dr. Failiure, Maleficent, Yzma, all these characters are dastardly, and you love watching them be on screen, but you never agree with their ideas. With this guy, I 100% agree with him. Not all wishes should come true. I know this is one of the weirdest comparisons you will hear, but Wonder Woman 1984 did it better. DC video coming soon. In it, the villain, played by internet's daddy Pedro Pascal, basically becomes the genie that grants unlimited wishes. And through that, you see how a lot of people's wishes are terrible and bring a lot more pain to others. While in Wish, they were like, oh, we need to grant everyone's wishes. Bro, what if someone wants a T-34 tank, huh? And starts destroying the kingdom? But nah, everyone starts to be sad, blah, blah, blah. Bro, the king is the true protagonist of the movie. Fuck this shit. And Bobby, I hope you join your other namesake because you've overstayed your welcome. And as for you, like and subscribe and keep on keeping on.